What is up, bros? Josh here. In today's video, we are going over one of my most anticipated premium ships coming to World of Warships, and that is the Prinz Eitel Friedrich, the Tier 6 German battleship. Now, we have done a video on this ship before, but we have a new version of this ship, and it's gone through a couple of nerfs. The main nerfs were all about, not the thing that really makes this thing completely amazing to play, but the two nerfs were to its main batteries. First of all, lowering its sigma from 2.0 to 1.9, making it a little less consistent with its dispersion, and then increasing its main battery reload time from 24 seconds to 26 seconds. Now, Wargaming said they did this in response of this basically overperforming, and it was kind of nutty. I always called this ship basically a Tier 6 Scharnhorst without torps, of course, because it just doesn't have torps. But what this thing does have, and kind of my biggest feedback on this, is that the AA is still absolutely insane. This thing, we have it completely decked out with an AA captain, manual fire, all the good stuff, and of course we got ourselves a CV game. So pretty much what this is it's kind of like a Tier 6 Scharnhorst in a way, with its guns with an Atlantis strapped to the top of it. So absolutely crazy, and just an insane amount of AA that goes into the ship. But for some reason they kind of didn't really mess with that at all, and they affected its guns, which I guess are still okay. You're gonna get kind of dispersion like that from time to time, but upside is you have a pretty solid reload at now 26 seconds, which is still pretty good. I mean, some of the ones around this are 30+ seconds, and you can still do a lot of damage, which you'll see in this game. I love this ship. I love it because, one, it's relatively stealthy. 12.4 kilometers is decent at this tier. It's very quick, which I absolutely love. I love kind of like the French battleship play. Even the German battleships are kind of quick. I like being able to flex from side to side on the map if needed, and then of course rolling, as you'll see right here, and even getting rolling into a cap and still getting shots out from a long range and pumping out just massive damage. But I've been seeing some feedback from other CCs about like the dispersion on this ship, and I feel like it kind of makes up for it, being able to just pump out a lot of shells. The Scharnhorst isn't known for being extremely accurate, but the upside of the Scharnhorst is you can fire extremely fast. I feel that in the same way of this ship. You don't have a massive cooldown to wait in between each salvo. It tends to be a bit on the faster side. And on top of that, if you see any kind of planes in the sky, they are absolutely screwed. But anyways, still love this ship. No idea when this ship will be released, though. I get kind of questions about these all the time. When will the ship be released? When will the ship be released? Not fast enough. Honestly, this is one of the ships I'm most excited for. I think it's kind of like a meme that I think Wargaming is going to do it every year, where they make a really a highly anticipated Tier 6 German premium, and then they show it off, and then they just backburn it for like a year or 10 months or something like that, and then they finally release it. We had the T-61. The same exact thing. They made this amazing ship that everyone loved to play and everybody was waiting for it, and then they just kind of backburned it and shelved it for a while. Maybe they're geniuses on some supply and demand stuff, who knows? But this is something I'm super excited for. Easily the most fun I've had in a Tier 6 battleship in a while, and that's saying a lot because there are a massive there's a ton of battleships at Tier 6, a lot of battleships at Tier 6, and we're even testing another Tier 6 battleship with the West Virginia right now. So, but still, this is currently work in progress, so stats are subject to change, but I think we'll see something that is relatively close to what we see right now, because they've kind of toned it down. But really, the main thing that makes this thing so good is its AA. Now, again, we have this thing completely decked out in AA, and you know, you most likely won't have that. But if you do, it's a premium ship. You can switch over. But we have like a 19-point captain completely decked out in AA. But this is Tier 6, Tier 5. These are the tiers where you get a lot of CV play, a lot of CV games, and then sometimes, which is exactly what you want in this ship, is double CV games. That's what you want. And you'll even see against Tier 7 planes, even Tier 8 planes, you will just shred. Going against Tier 5 planes or even Ryujo planes, good luck. If you're selling away at any speed, you're going to start shredding. So you'll see us start knocking out some planes pretty quick. Even at 6.5, which is our range, it's pretty good. Man, when they get to about that 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers right there, that's when it really kicks in. Again, you're going to have the AA of basically an Atlanta on top of a Scharnhorst almost, or a fully decked out Scharnhorst on top of a, on top of your ship. But Still really good, loving it. Secondaries of a German ship as well. Mediocre range, we're not really spec'd out for it. We're going for that AA. Lulls, make what is, I always say buff what's good about the ship. And we're going to pinch up against this island right here. So these torps are going to go right past us, no big deal. And again, still trying to shred out. But man, if you are a CV, and that's what I love about this is, first of all, I like playing battleships. I like playing fast battleships. Check and check. And then let's just strap it with potentially, I mean, this is honestly for just pure damage of tier 6 ships. This is one of the highest, if not the highest at tier 6 overall, just on a battleship, which is absolutely nuts. It kind of reminds us like tier 5. Tier 5, the battleships tend to have the highest because cruisers don't really have it. And of course, you get to tier 7, you have the Atlanta and stuff like that. But this is again a battleship that has. I'd have to kind of double check. Maybe like you can get the Dallas to something crazy, but again, the best AA at this tier is going to be a battleship. So sign me up. I love shredding planes, and one of the biggest counters to a battleship tends to be planes, and there tend to be a lot at tier 6. And so something that's kind of counters its counter, that's pretty damn good. And being agile and quick, even destroyers are going to have a hard time, well, kind of, you know, taking care of you because of just how fast and agile you are. So you start to kind of run out of counters with this ship, and you kind of look at this and go, hey, this is pretty good. Again, I'm really confused why Wargaming kind of just let the AA stay. Even when a lot of us talked about it, it was just like, I felt like the guns were all right in the past, but I feel like the AA was just absolutely nuts. And now that they did change the AA, and I feel like the guns still feel fine, hey, I can't wait. Give me the ship as soon as possible. So, again, I can't really, I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm just excited for this ship, and I hope you guys are too. But again, I don't know when it's going to come out, so it's a bummer. It's a bummer. Who knows if it even be this year? Who knows? But overall, though, this ship is just, it's fantastic at pushing stuff. It's German armor, so it's really hard to Citadel, but you will take that high alpha damage, so that's something to kind of focus on. But again, with this ship, I like to get into spots where I can pump out damage with this ship, and as well as being an AA platform. Now, you really see this thing shine. So let's say it really shines when there's a CV play, when there's a CV in game. So, you know, how does it do if there isn't? This thing still does fantastic. I'm still having monster games, easy 100k games with even when I'm being bottom tiered, because of, you know, it has the flexibility of kind of having that pseudo battle cruiser. I think this would historically be looked at as a battle cruiser. So just being able to rotate around, flex when you need to. And yeah, you're gonna lack with the smaller guns on this. You're going to lack that big punching power, you know, that big. You're not going to be knocking stuff around like let's say like the Baron is at tier 6, or the Warspite, something like that. And again, we've shot 2 salvos at this guy, one for the first part of his life and the second, so feels bad, Karov, you just got balanced a little bit right there. But this ship is still going to be decent even if it's bottom tier, because of its ability to just absolutely smash cruisers. That small caliber shell really kind of just seems to be perfect against cruisers. You don't tend to get like a massive amount of overpens. You either tend to get like the full pens or hitting those citadels, as I just get an overpen, but that's in Atlanta, it doesn't really count. But still, getting into spots where you can do it, detonation for one of our guys, a bit of a bummer. And we'll send it in right there. 2 kills so far, 76k, and down goes our Shiratsu. Kind of feel a little bit bad because when we do these test ships, we get like a rental period, and we don't get any rewards. So I think we even got technically a first blood in this game, and I think we even got it. We played 2 games back to back with this ship, and we got first blood the game before as well. So we're stealing all these rewards. So kind of it feels bad, but as you see, as a battleship, you tend to run away. I'm running towards these planes. Give me that XP. I want that XP. And for, I guess, toning down, or some people saying bad accuracy, I think that looks pretty good to me. Upside is you tend to shoot very, very quickly with this ship, especially when you have adrenaline rush and can keep pushing. But it's nice being able to, you know, be able to just defend yourself. There's actually very few battleships, and now, yes, again, we are fully decked out for AA, but even if I'm not fully decked out for AA, your AA DPS is still absolutely nutty with this thing. Just like kind of running maybe just a module, stuff like that, you're still gonna be able to knock out a bunch of planes. Now again, we have manual A, I think we have BFT, of course AFT, so we're up to the max, but and we got really unlucky dipping them right into the water, so that's the lack of Sigma, give it back. But yeah, even if you're completely stock, you're still going to do fine, and you'll still kind of knock them out of the planes. You're not going to be as able to be as aggressive as I was right there, but still, you'll be able to absolutely shred some planes. Focusing on these guys, over 100k, 4 kills so far, and trying to decide which one I want. A little lackluster dispersion right there, but that's all right. And we'll just end up going for the broadside. I'm cool with that, but still, never out of, you know. I love ships like this that just have freedom, because you kind of break the mold when it comes to this game, because one of the rocks to your scissors, the scissors to your paper, however you want to say it, is kind of taken out. So having massive amounts of freedom in this game, you don't really get with a lot of ships. So this kind of makes its own rules, I guess, when it comes to World War ships, because you're that whole, circle of life, that whole food triangle, whatever you want to call it in this game, of just everything kind of has a counter. This really takes at least one of them off the block of being able to counter you. You actually want CVs to send their planes towards you, especially if you can get tier 6 or tier 5 planes at you, and even tier 7 planes when you respect out for it. I still shredded those planes. So that's really what you want. It's kind of weird to think about that, because normally if I'm in a Fuso, or if I'm in a New Mexico, or any of those ships, you really want to stay away from planes. This, you're like, send more please, I want more XP, because we've already knocked down 22, and even for a Ranger's hangar, that's in 2 strikes. He's going to be hurting. He keeps going after this. And of course, we always get the situations where it's always shoot the new ship. That's what everyone always goes for. So the best situation is when you get those, a double CV, and they both want to kind of go for the brand new ship, and they kind of pay for it dearly. Especially if you can get a Ryujo, or even a tier 5 plane if you get lucky, or tier 5 CVs. You're gonna just deplane them in 1 or 2 strikes, and there's nothing they can really do. So again, kind of a weird stance that Wargaming took on this, to kind of hit the guns more than what really made this thing stand out. But if you are a player like me that just loves to kind of have that pocket AA captain to just kind of cause hell and get some CV tiers in the game, you're gonna absolutely love this ship. And just overall, it's just a really good ship in general, just to have fun. And not only is it good, it's a fun ship, so I think that's extremely important. Do I think it's going to be the best battleship? Like, if we're talking actual metas, like, let's say if it's ranked, tier 6 ranked, do I think it's going to be the go-to best ship? No, I don't think it's going to be the go-to best ship. But I think this one is going to stand out as just being a very good ship, and then being an extremely fun ship. So that fun factor, to me, outweighs, like, if a ship is the best. I don't care. Every ship in the game doesn't need to be the best, which seems to be the pattern that Wargaming is trying to do, where everything really needs to be competitive at the top tier, and everything needs to be like the best, and if it's not the best, then it needs to be buffed. Doesn't really need that. It just needs to be something that's different and something that's fun, which this thing kind of hits really, really hard, about having just a standard fun high A battleship that you just really don't get that much. But anyways, no real date on when this will be released, but 123k, 6 Citadels, and a Kraken, even though we didn't get the rewards for it. Again, can't wait for this ship. Hope you guys are excited for this ship. Another good tier 6 ship. And still, props to Wargaming for finding something to set this thing apart, because there's a lot of tier 6 battleships. So getting something that's different in a pool of ships that's so big, like the tier 6 battleship lineup, it's pretty cool. So then to find that, and to find a very fun playstyle, is even a 2 thumbs up. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. The updated version, again, it was nerfed with its Sigma from 2.0 to 1.9, so a little loss there, and then increased its reload time from 24 to 26 seconds. So that was the change, and overall didn't really feel it too much. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.